What if I told you that right now, wherever you're listening to this, you're living on one of the most dangerous planets in the known universe? A world so hostile that advanced alien civilizations would classify it as a Class 12 death world. A place where even the very air you're breathing is considered a toxic hazard by galactic standards. Welcome to Earth. And today we're going to explore whether you, yes, you, have what it takes to survive on a death world. I'm your narrator for this journey into the extraordinary reality of human survival. If you've ever wondered why science fiction stories often portray humans as the tough guys of the galaxy, you're about to discover the fascinating truth behind that trope. You see, in the realm of speculative fiction, particularly in what's known as HFY, or Humanity stories, Earth isn't just another habitable planet. It's a nightmare world that would send most theoretical alien species scrambling for their escape pods. But here's what makes this concept so compelling. We don't just survive here, we thrive here. We've turned a death world into our home, our playground, our launching pad to the stars. So settle in, because over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the ultimate death world survival challenge. 7 scenarios that would challenge even the most resilient beings, based on the very real conditions that shaped human evolution. By the end of this audiobook, you'll understand exactly why humanity might be considered the ultimate survivors in any galaxy. Let's begin with something so fundamental, you're doing it right now without conscious thought. Breathing. Earth's atmosphere contains 21% oxygen. To you, that's normal. To most theoretical alien life forms, our air would be classified as an explosive hazard. We're literally breathing a gas mixture that could power rockets. And we've been doing it so long we consider it unremarkable. Imagine alien diplomats visiting Earth, requiring full environmental suits just to survive our toxic atmosphere, while human children play outside, breathing this combustible mixture like it's nothing. This isn't science fiction hyperbole, it's based on real atmospheric science. Here's your first survival challenge. You're stranded on a planet with 30% oxygen content, significantly higher than Earth's already dangerous levels. Most alien species would consider this environment instantly lethal, but you're human. What happens in a high oxygen environment? Everything burns faster and hotter. A small spark becomes an inferno in seconds. Your metabolism accelerates dramatically. You'll need 40% more food and water just to maintain basic functions. After 24 hours, oxygen toxicity becomes a genuine threat to your nervous system. So how do you survive? You do what humans have always done. You adapt. You create controlled environments using whatever materials are available. You ration your exposure to the high oxygen zones. You use that extra oxygen to your advantage, because higher oxygen levels mean accelerated healing, increased physical strength, and enhanced cognitive function. While theoretical aliens panic about the toxic atmosphere, you're literally gaining superpowers from it. This is the human advantage, turning environmental hazards into evolutionary benefits. Next, let's discuss gravity. Earth's gravitational pull is 9.8 meters per second squared. Most potentially habitable worlds would have gravity between 0.6 and 0.8 times Earth's pull. We're living on what would be considered a high-gravity world by galactic standards. This explains so much about human physiology. We're not just resilient, we're literally built like biological tanks compared to most theoretical alien species. Your second challenge. You wake up on a planet with 1.5 times Earth's gravity. Everything weighs 50% more, including your own body. Most alien life forms would be crushed under their own weight. But you're human. Your bones are already dense from a lifetime of fighting Earth's gravity. Your muscles are pre-adapted to constant resistance training. Your cardiovascular system is already a high-performance machine, pumping blood against significant gravitational force every moment of your life. While aliens crawl around like they're wearing lead suits, you're moving like you've just finished an intense workout. Yes, you're tired, but you're functional, you're dangerous. And here's the remarkable part. After a few weeks adapting to that heavy world, when you return to normal gravity, you've essentially become superhuman. This isn't fantasy. This is the logical extension of human adaptation to a high-gravity environment. Let's examine temperature extremes. Earth's temperature range is absolutely extraordinary by any reasonable planetary standard. We experience locations that reach 134 degrees Fahrenheit in Death Valley and plummet to minus 128 degrees Fahrenheit in Antarctica. That's a 262-degree temperature range on a single planet. Most stable worlds would have perhaps a 50-degree range at most. And we don't just survive in these extremes, we build permanent installations in them. We have year-round research stations in Antarctica. People vacation in Death Valley. We've turned temperature extremes into tourist destinations. Your third challenge. You're on a world where daytime temperatures hit 150 degrees Fahrenheit and nighttime drops to minus 50 degrees. That's a 200-degree daily temperature swing. Most life forms would die from thermal shock within hours. But humans are thermal regulation machines. We sweat to cool down, a capability many species lack. We shiver to generate heat. We have subcutaneous fat for insulation. We've evolved sophisticated behavioral adaptations for temperature management. You find or construct shelter during the scorching day. You use thermal mass, rocks, sand, even your own body heat to store warmth for the frigid night. You layer clothing systems. You maintain hydration during heat stress and conserve energy during cold exposure. Most importantly, you remember that humans have successfully inhabited every climate zone on Earth. This is just another Tuesday for our species. Now we reach perhaps the most fascinating aspect, Earth's wildlife. Our planet is absolutely teeming with creatures designed to kill. We have apex predators in every environment. Great white sharks patrol our oceans. Grizzly bears dominate our forests. We're surrounded by venomous snakes, spiders, and jellyfish. We have microscopic parasites that can literally consume brain tissue, and plants that can kill you through skin contact alone. And here's what makes this remarkable. We've domesticated many of these predators, or turned them into food sources. We transformed wolves into loyal companions. We farm cattle that could easily trample us. We keep venomous snakes in glass enclosures for entertainment. Your fourth challenge. You're alone in a forest ecosystem filled with intelligent pack hunters, perfectly camouflaged ambush predators, and venomous creatures capable of killing with a single bite. This is where human evolution reveals its true genius. We're not the strongest or fastest predators, but we're the smartest. We use tools instinctively. We understand pack behavior because we are pack hunters. We set traps because we think strategically. You create fire. Most animals have an instinctive fear of flame. You construct noisemakers and improvised weapons. You use humanity's greatest advantage, endurance. Humans can literally pursue prey until it dies of exhaustion. You think 3 steps ahead because that's what apex predators do. And if all else fails, you remember that humans didn't reach the top of Earth's food chain through compassion. We're persistence hunters. We're tool users. We're the species that looked at every dangerous animal on Earth and wondered what it tasted like. Let's discuss natural disasters. Earth doesn't simply have weather, it has actively hostile weather systems. We experience hurricanes with 200-mile-per-hour winds, tornadoes that can level entire communities in minutes, earthquakes that literally split the ground open, volcanic eruptions that block out the sun for months, tsunamis that reshape entire coastlines. And we don't just survive these catastrophes, we predict them. We built early warning systems, we have detailed emergency protocols. We rebuild in the exact same locations because we're too stubborn to let natural disasters dictate where we live. Your fifth challenge, you're facing a Category 5 hurricane with embedded tornadoes, followed by massive flooding, followed by a 7-magnitude earthquake. It's as if the planet itself is actively attempting to eliminate you. But here's the thing about humans. We're the species that looked at natural disasters and said, we can do worse. We invented nuclear weapons. We've altered global climate patterns. We're more dangerous than the planet we live on. You find high ground away from flood zones. You identify structures capable of withstanding both wind and seismic forces. You stockpile emergency supplies. You maintain multiple escape routes. Most importantly, you remember that humans have survived ice ages, supervolcanic eruptions, and asteroid impacts. We're the ultimate survivors, the cockroaches of the galaxy, but in the most admirable way possible. Here's an aspect most people overlook: the psychological challenge of living on a death world. Constant environmental threats, unpredictable dangers, the persistent knowledge that your surroundings are actively hostile. Most theoretical alien species would develop severe anxiety disorders just from living on Earth for a week. But humans, we've turned environmental stress into entertainment. We create horror movies. We invented extreme sports. We pay money to be frightened. We build roller coasters that simulate falling to our deaths for fun. Your sixth challenge. You're completely alone on a hostile world for 6 months. No contact with other humans, just you, the environment, and your own psychological resilience. Most beings would suffer complete mental breakdown from the isolation and stress. But humans are social creatures with extraordinary mental resilience. You create daily routines to maintain psychological stability. You talk to yourself. And that's not madness, that's survival strategy. You set achievable goals and celebrate small victories. You remember that humans have survived solitary confinement, Arctic expeditions, and space missions. We're the species that produces individuals who volunteer to spend a year alone in Antarctica, just to see what the experience is like. Your mind becomes both your greatest weapon and your greatest enemy. But if you can master your psychological state, you can survive anything the universe throws at you. Now for the final challenge, the one that truly separates humans from every other theoretical species in the galaxy. The ultimate death world challenge. You're on a planet that combines everything we've discussed: toxic atmosphere, crushing gravity, extreme temperature swings, deadly predators, constant natural disasters, and complete psychological isolation. Most alien civilizations would classify this planet as uninhabitable, impossible to survive on, a guaranteed death sentence. But you know what humans would call this planet? Tuesday. Because here's the secret that makes humans legendary in science fiction. We don't just survive impossible conditions, we thrive in them. We transform death worlds into garden worlds. We take the worst the universe can offer and respond with, "Is that all you've got?" You survive the ultimate challenge the same way humans have always survived, by being too stubborn to die, too clever to give up, and too adaptable to be stopped by something as simple as a hostile environment. So, can you survive the Death World Challenge? If you're human, the answer is unequivocally yes. Not because we're the strongest or fastest or smartest species, though we excel in all these areas. We survive because we're the species that looked at a planet actively trying to kill us and decided to make it our home. We're the species that transformed every challenge into an opportunity, every threat into a tool, every disaster into a learning experience. This is why humans feature so prominently in science fiction as the tough guys of the galaxy. We're not just survivors, we're the ultimate survivors. We're the species that makes death worlds look manageable. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these challenges do you think would be the most difficult to survive? What Death World scenario would you add to this list? Head to the comments section and share your thoughts. I read every comment and love engaging with listeners who appreciate the extraordinary nature of human resilience. If this audiobook made you appreciate just how remarkable humans really are, please hit that like button and subscribe for more thought-provoking content that explores what makes humanity unique in the cosmos. And here's something to consider as you go about your day. You're not just a human. You're a Death World survivor. Every breath you take, every step you make, every challenge you overcome is proof that you're part of the most adaptable, resilient, and remarkable species that evolution has ever produced. Act like it.